What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Kung Fu Episode 3 recap, review, and breakdown. This was a much better episode this week, with almost every single character having a plotline and supercharging the underlying plot thread of the whole season, which is, of course, the mythical weapons. It is also balanced with the social justice of the week, for a lack of a better term, very well with the rest of the plot, as last week felt far too much like filler for me personally this early in the season. Now we open with Henry as he's training with Nikki, and boy, yep, I ship it, as it gets awkward when Nikki's ex comes in. And it is a real dick measuring contest here, as Henry is meeting her ex for the first time, which even Nikki was laughing at, seeing them posture up. The ex has pictures of the professor being kidnapped, which we knew this, of course, last week, but this also confirms he's being kept as the police go to try and save him. But, well, it was a bait and switch, as we see him in the real location being interrogated about the weapons of power. Now, he knows where all these weapons are after pretending he thinks it's all a myth, as we see him tortured over the entire course of the episode. I quite liked having more of this plotline being followed, as to me, the lore and the history is the most interesting part of the show, and lore and mythology is one of my favourite things to get stuck into. I'm currently in a binge of watching the entire lore of the Legend of Zelda series. I am obsessed. The family part didn't drag too much this week, as Nikki wants to help her parents with a big catering job, except her mother is uninterested in her and really only asks the brother Ryan for help. But Nikki also manages to break a fridge that she had no idea was broken due to being away for so very long. There's a lot of subtext here about her breaking something that her mother is trying to keep together for a long time. The family, that's what it is. It's a metaphor for the family. But Nikki's vision of her teacher asks her to earn forgiveness with the family, which she does by starting with her brother Ryan, who is far too busy to get lunch with her, as there's always a queue for his free clinic, which is just absolutely stunning that you can't walk up and get point of sale free healthcare in America. Blows my mind. But she runs into a fanboy of Ryan's, and the woman is a union activist who just so happens to be getting very sick and is worried about losing her job due to having too many sick days. A lethal combo here, and Ryan is treating her. I really liked how she was working at a streetwear brand where, just like real life, they sell clothes for extortionate prices and obviously exploit their labour. However, Henry and Nikki have a meeting to learn more about the professor just as he is being tortured. It's an interesting scene as he buckles and says where some of the weapons are, and he realises who she is, and we learn that in the past her father was killed, leaving her as a child, and it's interesting, and it confirms pretty much she is the lineage of the people who controls the sword. Now, that's very cool there, and while we didn't get too much info, we had some pretty cool scenes, but we also have Nancy Drew Nikki find a lockbox that, well, considering the end of the episode, they don't really need to give that back now, and it has the same symbol as Jayling's necklace, and she returns to the community centre to only learn that the organiser has fainted and has been taken to hospital. That escalated quickly. But Nikki crashes poor Ryan's date, and she had no idea about this, but how convenient, his date knows exactly where the factory owner is and will be later that night, and manages to get in the party with total ease. The party shows the absolute wealth and privilege that King Kwong has while his workers earn minimum wage with no sick pay. He's monetizing people wanting to be part of that party. Of course, her sister is a huge fangirl and even buys Nikki a hoodie, but confronts Kwong over what has been happening, and he dodges the questions to his COO, who says he loves unions, which is a total lie and is really a hot topic in American and even British politics now, with Amazon's monopoly over, well, yeah, everything. Well, of course, the COO was lying, as we learn that chemicals were affecting the organizer, as we learn that Well, she was the only one affected as Nikki breaks into the factory and finds all of the union signatures to be shredded. And we get the usual, bad guy monologue. The company couldn't go public with labour costs rising, and he did this in secret away from Kwong and arranges for poor Nikki to be killed, which, fails as she remembers her training. She tricks Brett into revealing his plans of getting the union organiser sick enough so she can be fired and is arrested. But also as well, we learn that her sister has a dark secret, which I predicted way back when in episode 1, which was only really 3 weeks ago, as something happened with her and her boss. So I expect more is that going to come out. But the professor has revealed that, there is a weapon in Dubai, and, of course, she goes to get it. And there was a sword that needs a scabbard, which he has no idea where it is. And he got his coffee and he's killed. Rip, guy. I hope that we would have some sort of Indiana Jones thing where he's taken around the world trying to get all of these weapons, but yeah, I guess that's that. But the union is fast-tracked by Kwong after this, and Nikki even got some swag, which was funny as she's wearing them, not realising the resale price, as her father pleads for her mother to actually show some love to Nikki, as Nikki also works out the puzzle she stole. And overall, I love this episode. It was what the series should be, a fine balance of CW family drama and the mystique of the weapons and the ancient history. That's just a short video here for you. I will be back tomorrow for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and due to time constraints, Saturday is when I will be putting out my latest episode of Invincible Breakdowns as well. But that is it. I'll see you soon. I'm off to play some Zelda, and goodbye.